Talk to me a little bit about how you got started then.
So I think I was always a performer.
Mm-hmm.
So at school I was always kind of doing the shows and things like that. Never
So
really,
musical theatre?
kind of, yes, but I didn't really sing, and
Okay.
it wasn't like I didn't play an instrument, and
Right.
I didn't pick up an instrument until I was like 18. So
Right,
it's
okay.
quite late. And then, but I
And
did
what was that instrument?
guitar, obviously. But I'd always kind of liked that aspect and thought it was cool. But like I got into music, I think, when I was 14. Classic Bon Jovi, Living on a Prayer
Right.
story, and then kind of, I don't know, TV, MTV or whatever, the 100 greatest rock stars, and then kind of just went deep into kind of classic rock and things like that.
Right.
And I was like, and I used to dive as well, so that was like a 4 to 5 times a week kind of thing.
As in diving off a board?
Diving off a board.
Did you?
Yeah, I've been
How
saying.
high?
15 and a half is the longest. So.
As in on the edge doing the whole tiptoe thing?
Kind of, it's, yeah, some sort kind of thing.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I did a show in Napoli for like
Right.
2 months into a bucket and was set on fire. So.
That's quite mad.
Yeah. So it was kind of a big aspect of my life. So where I always had something to do, and then I kind of stopped it, and then just like, what do I put in place?
And having had that discipline
Yeah.
of having to be regimental, follow a routine.
Yeah.
I don't know if that age you have to be kind of like quite healthy and quite.
Obviously, I was just bored because I had nothing to do as such, and then so guitar came into it, and then I thought I could be, I don't know, like a fancy guitar player, and then I had kind of, and then I went to uni, and I had an open mic night, and I was like, I want to perform, but I can only perform kind of noodly bits because I didn't really practice chords or whatever.
Right.
And then they were singing their own songs, and I was like, oh, you can do that, and I thought, I'm like, kind of blind ignorance.
Okay, that's
So
often a good thing with this industry, though.
So I can do that. That's
Yeah.
fine. And then so just properly deep dived instead of kind of going out and drinking all this stuff. I just stayed in my room playing
Practicing.
guitar. Yeah. But no,
So with songwriting, one of the things I always try and sort of share is what people do, because I think a lot of people think there's some magical thing to it, which there is to a point. But also finding your own way round songwriting is really important, and I think people think, oh, I've got to do it this way, otherwise it's So what's your process, if there is at all a process?
So my process now, like in the last couple of years, is that I do something every morning before I go to work, for example. So I write something. Probably I have an idea, record it, and then I kind of carry on it, and then when I come back to it, there's a little bit more written and things like that.
Right.
And luckily now I have a girlfriend who's also musically talented.
Yeah.
I have a girlfriend. That's going in there, isn't
Tick.
it? And I use her kind of as a sounding board. So kind of I like obviously where I used to like just write stuff on my own. I've tried to co-write as well, which I like to have something as a sounding board to see if it sounds good. But I think for me, I know what I want out of the song now, because I was like, right, this is like a country pop song. It needs a catchy chorus and doesn't need to be very long. As in, I try to not make it too wordy. I try to make it accessible and like singable or something like that. Yeah. Just because I know that country, folky, Americana is 3-4 chords, so it's just like I can do as little as much as I can this, but make sure that it makes more of an impact.
So in terms of, let's go with sort of inspiration when you write, where does that stuff come from? Is it all different places?
Yeah, definitely. Like, so if I write a chord progression, sometimes it happens from there, because you kind of feel the vibe or the emotion a bit like this. Sometimes it's from writing stuff down, like I said, like just writing stuff down in a diary or writing stuff down like for lyrics. Right. Sometimes it's what I'm thinking at the time, like if I'm pissed off or whatever, because it usually comes from emotion anyway. Right. All the songs that I've written are based loosely and based mostly on what my experience. So, so it all comes from kind of that, but it's depending on where it comes from. So it's more likely if you're unhappy, they come quicker. And when you're happier, it's kind of like, oh, is this too cheesy? But
no, absolutely.